Well, Topeka's special because it's a community that resides in a part of Kansas that's kind of rural, but we're also the state capital. And many people come to our community on a daily basis to do business here. And it's an opportunity for them to see our beautiful community. We have a department that is very interested in making our community good. They are very involved in the various neighborhoods of the community, wanting to make sure that each neighborhood is given the individual attention that it needs. And I think that's a lot about what community policing is about.
Your department, our community. It's that total concept of everybody working together, being one. And a lot of times when we talk about the police department and our involvement in the community and with our partners, a lot of times it's not a law enforcement issue, it's a community issue. But the police department's out on the streets 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so we're a natural catalyst to form that bridge between the citizens of Topeka, city government, and everything else that goes on with Topeka. Community policing for me is just the overall concept of how do we provide a better quality of life for everybody that lives in the city of Topeka. We work for the citizens of Topeka and the public, and so community policing is the essence of policing, I believe. Yeah, we're very heavily youth focused here in the city of Topeka, and the reason for that is working with our youth, being involved with our youth, and being true partners with our youth, we build that trust factor for many, many years to come.
So the reason that youth mentorship is so important within the city of Topeka is same to crime fighting, being out there arresting the bad guys. We're preventing them from living a life of crime. We're showing them the right things, the things they can do, and that law enforcement here in our city is here to support them achieve their goals and their dreams. We're ingrained in the school, we're in the elementaries, middle school, up to the high school level. I think we're probably the first in the country that do something like that. We find that the more the officers come in tune with the youth in the area, the more comfortable they feel as they grow older with the police in the area, and they understand the true meaning of why a police officer's there, to truly protect the community. We take all youth of all ages so important. It doesn't matter race, gender, where you come from. We want to make sure that within the city of Topeka, you have a place to learn, you have a place to grow, and that you know your police officers support you in that.
We have the Youth Outreach Program and the OK Program. The OK Program differs a little bit from the Youth Outreach Program because we specifically focus on African American males. And the reason why we do that is because there's some alarming statistics that go along with that demographic. 75% of these households are ran by a single parent, and overwhelmingly they're single mothers. So the OK Program, what we do is we get men in the community to come together. These men are trained. They take time out of their own day to come be trained by a police officer on how to interact with kids, to be a figure for them that they can look up to, that they can respect, and that can invest time in them. And for these young people, making that investment of time into them is absolutely phenomenal, and that's how we can fix some of the statistics that we see in those communities. I think one of the most valuable things that we have in this world is time. So giving these kids our time of day to teach them a skill, give them something that they can take home and make their lives better, I think it's just very important. Some of the biggest life lessons I've ever gotten is because someone took the time to teach me something.
CIT is a holistic approach where law enforcement teams up with community partners really to help individuals living with mental illness. We team up with community partners, whether that's your local mental health provider or the VA, and we go out and help individuals with a mental health crisis that are experiencing the crises on the street. So homeless individuals, whether they're a veteran or just an individual with a mental health issue living in an unsheltered environment. Individuals who, whether they have mental health services or not, just having a really bad day and having what's called a mental health crisis, and ultimately help them get the best care possible. We have almost 24/7 coverage of crisis co-responders, and that's a mental health professional that teams up with law enforcement, and they go out on the street specifically to help those individuals in a mental health crisis.
The Citizens Advisory Council is a diverse group of 15 members which consist of clergy from different religious denominations. The LGBT community is represented. We have age diversity from 18 all the way into the 60s. We have socioeconomic diversity. And the purpose of the group is to meet with Chief Cochran at least once a month, and we discuss what's going on with the police department. He gives us updates on statistics of what's going on in the city of Topeka, how many guns have been collected, how many arrests, crime statistics, and things of that nature. The public is not always necessarily aware of everything that's going on with TPD and all the new programs that the chief and TPD are rolling out. So what we do is we take in their information that Chief Cochran and other TPD officials provide to us, and we help educate the public. We help in that process, being that we are from those communities, and when questions or concerns arise, we help educate as far as, no, this is what we're doing right now with TPD. 2017 was kind of a rough year for Topeka in general. Fortunately, towards the end of 2017, we were able to get new leadership into the city of Topeka, and I think that helped tremendously to have that very dynamic, very enthusiastic group come in, definitely looking out for the best interests of Topeka and looking what could we do different to make Topeka better. And a lot of great ideas came out from that, and one of those ideas was community policing. Community policing is so vital and so important as we've seen the difference between what was happening, for example, last year before Chief Cochran and the new leadership in Topeka came in versus what's happening today in 2018.
We have a lot that we're doing to move the community forward, and it's exciting to see the progress that we're making.
Community policing is driven from the community up and not the police department down.